rooms would never tell, only because they lack the diversity to bring some of these stories to light.
Listen to Math and Magic on our very own free iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Looking for ways to get involved? The National Urban League works to provide economic empowerment, educational opportunities, and the guarantee of civil rights for the underserved. Learn more at NUL.org. That's NUL.org.
A special thank you to Verizon,
a proud founding partner who shares and supports the mission of the Black Information Network.
The opinions, beliefs, and viewpoints expressed in this commentary are those of the author and do not necessarily represent those of BIN and its founding partners and employees.
I'm Mo Kelly on BIN with your 2-minute warning. Another woman has come forward alleging that Georgia Senate candidate and alleged super pro-life Herschel Walker pressured her into an abortion, even driving her to the clinic. And you know it's gotta be bad when Fox News is pushing back against your ignorance on camera.
I hear you. I hear your answer. I'm not going to belabor this, but I'm going to play this soundbite from the press conference today, and then I'm going to ask you a question on the other side.
He has publicly taken the position that he is, quote, about life, unquote, and against abortion under any circumstances, when in fact he pressured me to have an abortion and personally ensured that it occurred by driving me to the clinic and paying for it.
They came forward with letters that they said were signed by you, and a voicemail that they said was your voice calling from the Olympics in 1992. So last thing on this, I talked to a number of voters today. Some of them, these accusations affected them, to be honest. They said they just weren't sure. And they didn't know if another shoe was going to drop. What do you say to those voters?
Well, what I say to those voters is that if you hesitant about voting for me, think about what Joe Biden and Raphael Warnock have done in less than 2 years. They're giving you this high inflation.
And you know what? This likely changes not one vote, because America is wholly unserious regarding its political leaders. You know I'm right. I'm Mo Kelly at Mr. Mo Kelly on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And that's your 2-minute warning on the Black Information Network. I'm John Marshall. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A top White House official is offering U.S. support to South Korea after nearly 150 people were killed and more than 150 others injured in a mass stampede at a Halloween festival. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan called the reports coming out of Seoul heartbreaking. He added the U.S. stands ready to provide any support the country may need. A stampede during Halloween festivities in one of Seoul's popular neighborhoods has left nearly 150 people dead and more than 100 others injured. President Biden is casting his early election ballot in his home state of Delaware. In brief remarks outside the polling place today, Biden condemned any type of political violence following Friday's attack on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband. Biden was joined by his 18-year-old granddaughter, Natalie, who is a first-time voter. The president is spending the weekend at his Wilmington home following a brief trip to Philadelphia with Vice President Kamala Harris. That's the latest. I'm John Marshall on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Black news impacting your town,
Your world, your voice. Bay Area, BIN 910. Sports on the Black Information Network.
Portland Trailblazers guard Damian Lillard left the game against the Miami Heat last Wednesday night in the third quarter with a leg injury. The team released a statement saying an MRI confirmed
for millions of dollars worth. We do the right thing in the right way at the right time. Are you suffering because something wrong happened to you? Let us do the right thing for you. Our only compensation is a percentage of what we win for you. We are Habits Law. Call us at 1-800-INJURE. HABBAS Law.com.
Coming up on KCBS, what Barack Obama had to say Saturday about the attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband. That's in 5 minutes. KCBS News Time is 12:15. Right now, we want to talk sports. Lots of action Saturday. NBA play. Warriors lost in overtime at Charlotte, 120-113. Hockey, Sharks were a goal short, losing to Tampa Bay at the Tank, 4-3. College football, San Jose State staged a fourth quarter in San Jose Saturday night, 35-28. Stanford in action at UCLA Saturday night, lost to the Bruins 38-13. Earlier in the day, Cal lost to Oregon in Berkeley 42-24. World Series baseball, the Astros beat the Phillies Saturday night in Houston 5-2. That best-of-7 series now tied at a game apiece. With more sports, here's KCBS's Stephen Langford.
Golden State Warriors second-year player Jonathan Kuminga has found himself frustrated with the lack of minutes on the floor, including last game where Kuminga received a DNP, or did not play, and watched from the bench. The 20-year-old was their first pick in last year's draft, and with the reliance on young players coming off the bench this season, the expectation was that we'd see an increase in his minutes. But with multiple players in the same position, head coach Steve Kerr hasn't found a spot for Kuminga through 5 games.
Jonathan's time will come. He's a very, very young player, very talented. He's just got to keep working. Things will go well for him as long as he stays on the path.
That was head coach Steve Kerr speaking to the media after their win over the Heat. The lack of minutes to start a season is not uncommon for second-year players. You could ask Steph Curry.
I hope he's frustrated because that's what's going to make it worth it when it comes his way. Maybe there's some comparisons to even me, Draymond, and Clay, like what we went through our first couple years. I got a couple DNPs my rookie year.
We'll see if Kuminga's minutes increase if an opportunity presents itself on this 5-game road trip. At the Sports Desk, I'm Stephen Langford, KCBS.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 38,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
What do you have for us today, Charlotte?
Charlotte is the little sister of the Tooth Fairy. Charlotte is the Junk Fairy.
If you have stuff in your shed that you haven't used in the past 12 months,
yes,
you're not storing stuff, you got junk.
Turn your storage shed into a shed that you can use again.
Give yourself some space to maneuver.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
Have weekend plans? Take us along for the ride.
Yeah, sure, there's Alcatraz and the crookedest street in the world, even Pier 39, but the heart of San Francisco can be found right here.
Day, night, and weekend, we keep you up to date on the news, traffic, and weather. It's one more reason why we're the Bay Area's #1 news station.
San Francisco's got the best food of all kinds, man, from street food to 4-star restaurants, right? I just love the restaurants.
All news, all the time, right here on KCBS.
Time to check the roads once again. We go to the KCBS Traffic Center where we find Frank Munich.
Boy, and again, we're rechecking Sherman Island for that better news. We had the southbound lane of 160 at Sherman Island Cross Road, just north of the Antioch Bridge, completely shut down for the better part of an hour and a half. We have both directions of 160 now reopened there, but the damage is being done. We're still seeing a little bit of slow traffic in that southbound direction. What we're not seeing any longer is a high wind advisory for the Altamont Pass. That has been canceled, so that's no longer a factor. We have rocks in the roadway, and this is heading into Sonoma, eastbound 84. As it becomes Petaluma Way, that's approaching the 680 split, we have a whole bunch of rocks that have apparently loosened and fallen down into that eastbound lane of 84. We've had several cars hit those rocks, so do be aware of that. That's a fairly remote area in terms of Bay Area highways, so that's something you'll likely come up on fairly quickly. Your next update at 12:28 on the traffic leader KCBS.
You're going to expect plenty of sunshine Sunday, but a bit hazy with areas of morning fog, highs ranging from the low 60s at the coast to the mid-70s inland. Monday, mostly cloudy, highs 60s, some low 70s inland. Partly to mostly cloudy and cooler for the remainder of the week with a chance of rain on Tuesday, a slight chance on